All right, good evening, guys. It is Monday, March the 18th, and this is our weekly team call. My name is Melanie Mitro. For those of you that are new and have never been on a team call, I just want to welcome you guys here. We're excited for our guest speaker tonight. We've got Bailey, who is a brand new diamond coach, and she went diamond in under 30 days. And her coach, Tasia, is we're gonna do a little Q&A. She's gonna ask some questions tonight because the biggest thing that people always want to know is, how do you get to diamond? And so we're gonna break it down. She's gonna give you some practical strategies and tips for somebody that literally has just made it happen. So I think that'll be really great. And don't be afraid tonight to ask questions. That is, like, use these team calls to just soak it all in, to ask questions. There's no question that is too small or that is stupid. Like, everything, if you are thinking it, somebody else is definitely thinking the same question. So please be bold and let's make sure we have some good conversation tonight. All right. Before we do that, just want to go through a few quick announcements. So we launched Ultimate Portion Fix today. So just drop me a comment if you sold an Ultimate Portion Fix Challenge pack today. I want to know if you did. And if you want to tell us how many that you sold today, that would be awesome. So drop me some comments. Let me know how it's going, of course. Awesome, Kate. Hello there. All right, so I want to know, so a couple of other things. I did this in my team page today. And as you guys are chatting away, the other thing I want to say to you is, how many of you are saying, like, I didn't have a very good Ultimate Portion Fix launch? Maybe you're saying to yourself, like, I actually didn't launch it very well at all, and I'm feeling a little frustrated by it. Or maybe you're saying to yourself, you know, I feel like I was a little bit behind the 8 ball with the Ultimate Portion Fix launch, and maybe you sort of missed that like opportunity to sort of plan it out ahead of time. And so I want to just give you just a few quick tips, and I did this in my team page this morning. You know, I'm reading this book, this audio book. It's by Mel Robbins, and it's not in paperback, but it's really good. So, and this really spurred a lot of thought for me. It's called Take Control of Your Life by Mel Robbins. It sort of is like a teal colored book, right? You can download it. And you can listen to it right when you're getting dressed or driving in the car. And that book really just, she talks about people that have these big visions and these big goals, and they look at the magnitude and the size of the goal and they just shut down. And before they ever take a step towards what they actually want, they overthink it. So, like, let's say, for example, you have this goal, right, of hitting Success Club. And as you know, as a new coach, sometimes that can be really overwhelming. And so you start to say to yourself, like, oh my gosh, I want to hit Success Club, but I'm not at my goal weight yet. And oh my gosh, what if somebody says they're interested and I make this post and I don't know what to say? And what if somebody does sign up? How do I know if I'm going to help them get results? And what if I really suck as a coach? And and we start to, like, psych ourselves out before we ever really get going. Anybody do that, right? We start to think of all the things we can do. Am I going to have enough time to run a group? Am I going to be good at running a group? What am I going to say? And so the one thing that in that audio was stop, because it takes just as much mental energy for you to overthink it as it does for you to just take one step forward. And you exhaust yourself thinking things over. Why not exhaust yourself taking action, right? And so it's all about just taking one small step at a time to move yourselves forward. And so, you know, as you're thinking about Ultimate Portion Fix, if you didn't have a really strong launch, just kind of take a step back and say, what's one thing that I can do? What's one thing that I can do right now that can help me take a step forward? And so when I think about it that way, it's like, okay, well, I know when's my challenge group going to be? Is it going to be, you know, March 25th that you're going to start prep? Good, great. Are you going to do it with your coach? Are you going to do it by yourself? Are you going to do it with your team? Get that together. Then make a post. Every single person today on their social media should have a post about the fact that we just launched a new program, right? And so you want to talk about it and really kind of say, like, this is, if you've never used the containers before, talk about why you feel so strongly about this program. If you've been using the containers, talk about how it's helped you in some way in the past. You can go to any one of the leaders' social media and see what we've done today, and then literally just take that, put it in your own voice and do it. So I want to make sure within the next 24 hours, everybody's made a post. Then from there, make some stories about Ultimate Portion Fix. Did you buy yours today? Do a little like screenshot of the fact that you bought it, right? Talk about why you're excited about Ultimate Portion Fix. Just go on and talk a little bit about who the product's for and how it can help other people with a poll so that you have a call to action. Send an email. This is really easy. Go to every single person you've ever talked to about Beachbody and let them know that there is something new that just launched today. Even the people that have ignored you, even the people that have never gotten back to you, the people that have never purchased, and the ones that are your current customers. They all should know that we have a brand new product launch that people could take advantage of, all right? The next thing is start inviting people. Everybody that likes or comments or shows up in your stories, hey, I saw that you viewed my stories. Are you interested? And as soon as you get it, and if you already have it, because most coaches do an unboxing video where you actually show them, right? You actually show them what you're getting in there. And that's it, right? So I wrote those 5 things down on a sticky note so that I can work through those. And then that's just a simple reminder of each day we can take action. We don't have to overcomplicate it. We don't have to overthink it, but we've got to put it out there. Beachbody gives us these launches not so that we can just sit back and be like, great, nice, thanks for the product launch. No, this is an opportunity for you to have a blip in your income. And so you want to take advantage of that as best as possible. And don't feel like you've missed the 8 ball, because every time a product launches, and maybe some of you other leaders can kind of vouch for this too, I may start a program and not have a lot of people that are super interested in what I'm doing. But when I say to myself, I'm going to pretend like I have been chosen by the company to be in a test group, and I'm going to do this product from start to finish, and I'm going to like take people on the reality TV show of what it's like to go through Ultimate Portion Fix. Every week, I'll acquire a new customer. Every week, somebody new will ask me about what I'm doing. And by showing that progress update, those side-by-side photos, I guarantee you that will be the program you sell the most by the time you're actually done with it, because people want to do what you're doing, all right? And when they see that it's working for you, they want to do it too. So that's just very, very simple, very practical, very doable advice. That's all you need to do to make that happen. All right. So once you guys think about that, the second thing I want to say is we are, so I'm teaming up with another leader in the organization and starting on, I want to say, make sure I get my dates right. Starting on April the 8th through the 28th, anybody, so this is for coaches that are diamond and above, that want to build an organization, that want to understand volume and the compensation plan, and really want to understand how to build depth in their organization, right? And really are like looking for the financial opportunity advice. So you've got 3 weeks if you're not yet diamond, and you have to be a paid diamond. So if you were diamond before and you're currently sitting at maybe emerald or ruby, you need to be a diamond coach by April 8th to be a part of this 3-week group that we're going to do. So I'm teaming up with Lindsay Matway. And the 2 of us are going to talk about compensation plan. We are going to talk about, we're going to bust a ton of myths about what it looks like to actually earn a significant income. We're going to talk about early wins, things you have control about, how having a second business center changes the game. We're going to talk about strategy when it comes to social media. We are going to go through some delegation, some things that are time wasting that we've seen in our businesses. We're going to talk a little bit about the biggest mistakes we've made and what we would do differently. And we've like planned out a full like 3 weeks worth of content, that visuals and just some live videos and then guest speakers to just really help coaches understand just how to build depth in their organization. So I have a little Google form that that you can fill out. I'm going to drop it into the Rising Stars so the leaders can sort of disperse it to their downlines, and I'll drop it in my own page too. So, but you'll need to be a paid diamond in order to get an invite to that group. So that might be a push for you. If you're sitting at Emerald right now to get there, if you're already diamond, you'll be able to get into that. So I just want to give you that heads up a couple of weeks in advance so that you can sort of get yourself organized according to that. All right. I think the only other thing is Super Saturday, which is coming, and it's the weekend of April 13th. It's about there. Make sure I'll be in Rochester actually with Tasia, and some of her, and Mackenzie is up there too. So I'm excited to go. I know, Katie, you moved. Boo for you. You can come hang out with us, and then we're gonna drive back to Pittsburgh, because then on Sunday we're gonna hang out with Joel here in Pittsburgh for Super Saturday too. So it's a busy weekend, and if you're not in any one of those two cities, please find a Super Saturday that's local to you. It's really, really important that you go. They're definitely probably gonna launch a new product. A consumable is the next thing. If you looked at that little calendar, it said there's a consumable coming. They'll probably talk about Jericho's new program, and lots of new training and things coming down the road. So you want to be at a Super Saturday. So it doesn't matter if it's hosted by a Dream Team coach or not. Just make sure that you get to an event. It's really important. Okay. All right. And then next week we're on the cruise. So a lot of the leaders won't be here, but we're looking to you guys to hold the fort down. So those of you that are not going, those of you that are going to be here, right? Step up, jump into the team pages, answer questions, rally everybody together. We will have a team call next Monday. Jade Whitehurst just had a baby, so she can't come, but she is going to be hosting next Monday night's call. And I have the all the information. I just can't think of what it is off the top of my head. So just so you know, we will have a team call next Monday. All right. Okay. Now I'm done. Sorry for all the announcements, but I wanted to get that all out of the way. I'm going to turn it over to Tasia and Bailey, and we are going to talk about how to get to Diamond in under 30 days. I hope you guys are excited.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I am Tasia Verno. Melanie is my coach. I've been coaching now for 4.5 years, and I'm not going to talk a whole lot because this is Bailey's show, but I am going to kind of run this, like Melanie said, as a Q&A, and if you want to jump in with any cues, feel free to do that. I think that Bailey has a lot of great things to share, and I know that she's really passionate about the actual sharing process when it comes to just being yourself and being genuine and how that can work for you in your business. So I'm going to let her start and just kind of give you some background and how she joined and what that was like for her to join as a coach. So Bailey, your turn.
Hi guys. All right. So I have been a Beachbody member for like 4 years. I've had Tasia's my third coach. So that's one thing that I learned is that, and I was a product of it, but I even told Tasia when I first started sharing, I was like, everyone already knows about it, blah, blah, blah. But I had 3 coaches myself. So not everyone has their tribe yet. So that was a big deal. I am a graphic designer, so that I'm a creative human. But so Tasia and I we spun together. Spun. She was an instructor at my studio, and our paths crossed in that community, and she reached out to me, and I took the plunge and switched over to her team because I was feeling like no motivation in the one that I was at, and I was doing the thing where I was like, I can't lose weight, or something's wrong with me, it's my thyroid, whatever I was doing, and so then Miss Tasia, bossy babe that she is, was like, hey, sign me up. I signed up for the coach discount, like many people, and I was just trucking along with my discount and doing my programs and kicking ass and feeling good. And then she's like, hey, Team Cup. So I was a Team Cup member, and I had not posted a Facebook or Instagram story or shared out loud about anything until February. So I kind of I was in a really strange place mentally about my finances. My company, we didn't get raises this year. We didn't get bonuses. They let 3 people go. So it was just a really weird place. And I kind of entered 2019 and said, I need to work on up here. So I was doing all my personal development, and Jen Cicero's You Are a Badass book is actually the one that set me up in 2019 to make it my year of yes. And her one thing that she says in there is, if you always say you're broke and you always complain about being broke and you're never going to have money and blah, 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 you're going to stay that way. So I was like, oh shit. okay, well, I do that all the time. I was like, meh, poor me, you know? So when Tasia asked me, I was like, what do I have to lose? You know, I was super embarrassed and did the thing where I was like, what is everyone going to think? And Rachel's a Beachbody coach and whatever. But I just kind of said F you to all that and just started sharing. So here I am.
You make it sound so easy. Like I just said, hey, sign up. And you said, hey, okay. But, you know, the honest truth was I had to ask her probably 6 times to be on the cup. And I just tried to tell her that there was something in her story that just had to be shared. And there was just something that I was called to call her, you know, to call her to the plate. And I think when we see that in our challengers, we just have to continue to push them. And thankfully this worked out. So yes, I had to ask a handful of times for you to join the cup team. So we started in February. Yeah, a lot, right? We started in February. And then what? So now it's February 1st. You're on the cup team. What kind of got the ball rolling for you?
So my goal for February was to hit Success Club 5 because I didn't want to let my team down. I had the stress of being like, oh no, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know. I've never posted about this. But I did some YouTube tutorials and I got myself savvy on Instagram stories and just started sharing. And I think that I did the thing where I was like, I am not at my fitness goal. I am still losing my weight. I am blah, blah, blah. But I think that doesn't matter. I think that if you're relatable, that people are like, oh, okay, like if this girl's doing it, why can't I do it? So I just started sharing like my real story. I was a living, breathing product of the Beachbody. And I gotta say, Transform 20 though, that is like, he in that program really set me up for success in terms of sharing because it's just such a killer program that I wanted to share about it. I felt so good, and when you're doing it, it's easy to share about it. So I just tried to hit Success Club 5, and then I just kept sharing.
So what was the turning point? You know, you're like, okay, I want to hit Success Club 5. I'm going to share because I love Transform 20. But what happened in the month of February where you were like, I'm going to do this diamond thing?
Well, I have a badass coach that answered 940,000 of my questions. I'm probably like on her favorites list of all things social media. Poor Tasia. Probably said, sorry, girl, stop apologizing, but I apologize. I'm sorry, Tasia, for asking this other question. But I just asked questions and I was like, you know what? I want to have high frequencies. My Jen Cicero, high frequency, I want to do it. So why can't I? Why can't I share enough that I'm making $1 or $3 and supplement that whining and that, you know, like I wanted to do it. So I asked the questions on how to do it and I just kept sharing and I felt like I was getting a little bit annoying, but it was like the consistency thing of it. And I got more savvy with my Instagram stories and people were like, I've been following along on your Instagram stories. And I really feel like sharing more than just like a post a day has helped me. And cause they can really they can stalk you. Like I watch those people, they're stalking me hard and I'm just like, I see you. Sometimes I let them know I'm seeing them. So, and I just wanted to know how. So my sister-in-law Lindley, who's on here, she has been my basically my secondary coach this whole time. And so we talked about it and I was pushed by Tasia, and Lindley is a freaking killer. She's lost 30 pounds and she's super knowledgeable. So I finally was like, listen, you got to do this. So Lindley, the badass that she is, signed up, went Emerald in like 1 week herself and killed it, like super killed it. So that was my first emerald. And then I was like, listen, I got to strategize a little bit. So I signed my husband up to be a coach. And I've said to myself through this whole thing, you got to spend a little money to make a little money. And that's hard for me when I don't have a lot of extra money to be spending. But if you're able to spend a little, you make a little. That's just 101 of anything financial. So I signed him up and I was like, listen, babe, he's like, listen, I am not the beach, you know, he's like CrossFit dude. So he's like in a whole different genre than me. But he was like, all right, well, if you think this is going to work, go ahead and do it. So he's like, sure. So he got his 2 coaches and those are your 2 emeralds. So there are ways to strategize like that. Like it's not cheating. Like he's still doing it, you know? So Lindley's freaking crushing it. I did not have to build her whatsoever. She doesn't need me. I needed her through this whole thing. So yeah.
All right. So it was just kind of like you were getting there was that momentum happening, and then you made the decision. You're like, okay, now I'm going to strategize and I'm going to actually make this diamond thing happen.
Well, it kind of got addicting. Yes. I was like, oh, shoot.
It got
Another
exciting.
Oh,
it was exciting.
Yes. It's super, super exciting.
So you keep talking about sharing, and you just shared Transform 20, and you just felt like you wanted to share more on your stories, and you started to do more of that. So I want to know more about what you are sharing and what is the gold that seems to be working for you. So maybe you can talk about some things that you feel like you're doing that maybe others aren't, maybe some examples.
Sure. Yes. I don't know that I have gold for anyone. And I often tell myself like the coach title is like still a little, I'm always like, no, I'm just sharing out loud. Like I'm just sharing out loud. So that is like how I talk about this. Cause I literally am just doing what I'm doing and sharing about it. So the thing that I find is that I don't try to just be super put together, especially on my stories. That's a place where I'm just hot mess express. So I feel like you use your stories to really show people that you're a real human and that you're not just salesing it. And I try really hard to make my posts just sound like I'm talking to my best friend or sound like I'm talking to my sister-in-law or whoever. Like people don't want to be sold to. I mean, I don't like to be sold to. And that was one of my biggest fears, was that people were going to be like, oh, she's selling me something else, you know, and that sucks. Like no one wants that. So where did I have slides? How do I share my screen? I'm new. So I'm just like,
I think if you click share at the bottom, there's a little green square.
Post disabled attendee screen sharing.
Oh yeah. Melanie will make it so that you can share. And you can show us some fun examples.
Okay, you should be able to go now.
Okay. Are we up?
Yep, I see it.
Okay. All right. So with my posts, I try to do like a super well-rounded ratio of my real life and my coach posts. Really, I am living this journey. I am doing this journey. So I find that my progress photos get me a lot of traction. And I just talk about how that's going for me. I talk about my hiking that I do with my husband. I talk about my husband a lot because that's one of the things that was one of my biggest like jealousies. He's super fit, and I was always saying like, oh, I can't catch the fit bug. So I talk about him a lot. I talk about what we do a lot. But I share my food. I share my portion cups, my weight loss. I share my cute little baby boy Miko. So I'm still living my real Instagram life, but I'm putting in more of the coach thing. So some of them are long, some of them are short. I always try to bring in, like, I just got on this, I bought new pants, so I'm sharing that. Like, I don't know, it's like I'm crafting it for my BFF Alex, and I'm just super excited about what I'm telling her, and I'm just sharing it genuinely. I'm not saying like, hey, buy this Shakeology right now. Like, I'm just sharing about my day. I'm sharing about my new pants because, girls, boys, I don't know if there's any boys on here. I just went to a size 10, so I had to celebrate because that's real news, not fake news. So I sometimes feel like I'm like posting too much transformation photos or whatever, but that's the whole gig, right? Like, that's what I'm trying to do here. So I relate it to my real life, and I talk about, like, last summer I climbed this crazy mountain, and this summer I'll show 2018 Bailey what an actual powerhouse looks like. And I always talk about how I did love myself, but now I love myself more. I talk about self-love a lot because I feel like it has to do with the mental part of it and the physical part. Like, people sometimes get scared away of just like being some buff Betty, but it really is a mental transformation. Like I said, I've been doing this Beachbody thing for 4 years and never was jealous of my sister-in-law Lindley. She lost her 30 pounds, and I was just like, oh, I can't catch the fitness bug, So I have real stories, so I'm gonna share that, and I know, I'm sure that we can all relate, whether you're thin, you're not thin, you're trying to be thin, whatever you're trying to do. We all can relate to not being confident in whatever we are. So sharing about that seems to be sitting well with people. I talk about, I had a hard time also with Ultimate Portion Fix. I was like, how do I possibly switch from Shaun T's crazy 20-minute program? Like, it was in great, that was my first month of sharing. It was just like Shaun T Central. So to switch to Ultimate Portion Fix, it was tough. But I bought it, and I bought the certification, and then once I bought the stuff, I was able to talk about it differently. I've been using the portion cups forever. That's how I eat. So it's easy to share about. I don't know, I'm rambling.
You're doing good.
Yeah, I don't know. I need a prompt.
What else do you have another post that you're going to share?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so I'm trying to get better about sharing about coaching, but like I said, that's like one of my things where I'm still the kid that's like, well, I don't want so-and-so to just think I'm doing another pyramid scheme thing. And it's just like, why do I care? Why do I care? I don't care. Like, and so Rachel Hollis, if you guys don't have that book yet, that is like, I just like say it on repeat. Every time I post something, I'm like, other people's opinion of me is none of my business, right? Like, should we all get tattoos of that on our tramp stamp area or something? I don't know. I feel like we need that. But it's so true. Like, what do I care what Becky from high school is thinking about my Beachbody? Like, I don't care. I'm having fun with it. It's something that got me in a different mental state about, like, I'm not making millions, but it's been awesome to make something, and it's focused my energy on something positive and allowing me to stick to my guns and keep losing the weight. So it's a win-win. So if that's one thing, and I talk to myself every day about it, if that's one thing that we can get past is like thinking that we're not doing well, or thinking that, Becky from high school is saying like, ooh, you're so stupid. Becky, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I'm having fun with it. And it's just, the thing I like about it is that it's something that you can put a lot into or a little into. And I don't feel like I spend all day posting or looking, or Tasia probably feels like I do that because I talk to her so damn much. But I don't know. So I'm trying to talk more about coaching because it really is the part I love best about coaching so far, is that it's keeping me honest with my journey. Like, if I have to share about it and talk about it, I'm going to stay honest with that. So I can share this too. I don't know.
Yeah, what I would love for you to talk about is how you signed up so many coaches so fast. Like, how did you get them to sign up as a coach?
Yes. Okay. So, and some people in our group, I hear it. They're super like nervous about it and think that they're like scamming people signing them up as a coach, and they're really not. So here it is. I sign every single person up as a coach. I don't give them an option. And I think only one person out of the people that I've signed up have been like, hell no, give me a customer link. So I send them another share cart and I give them the customer link. So this is my talk track for that. I sign them all up, I send them the link, and then I say this. So I signed you up with a coach discount. You literally never have to be interested in coaching or ever coach, but it'll get you 25% off any future shakes if you want to keep that up. And then I like do a little, hey, also the pre-workout Energize and workout recover, they're savers. You not only get the 20% off, but and I swear, I'm not afraid to be myself in these posts because I don't know if it offends people. I don't think it does, but it saves you a shit ton on shipping when you continue the shakes. And if you want to start sharing out loud, you're already set up for success in that department. And then I explain to them how later on it's another $40 to sign up for the discount. So that I like to just do it up front so you can waive that. And if you find after your first month, you're like, nope, shakes aren't for me, you can cancel it at any time. And I found that every single person except this one girl is like, oh, shoot, cool. Thank you so much. Thanks for thinking of me. Like, thanks for passing that on. So I think that the whole idea of like feeling like you're scamming people, like you're not, because you're trying to build your business, which that's going to do it, because that's exactly how I went diamond in the month of February. I didn't make it an option. I kind of just went with it. And I've had coaches that have uncoached, like they didn't want it, so they switched it off. So that's their own choice, and it's free, and it doesn't save or it doesn't hurt them any to cancel it, so why not just start with that?
So what about objections? Like when people, you talked about the one girl who wasn't interested in coaching, but what about people who are just objecting in general, like about price or about something else that's making them say no? How do you handle that?
So I relate it back to myself and just make it a personal conversation. Like, oh, I know my living room is so small, but once you just like move the couch out of the way, you have room, you make it work. Or, yeah, I know I was in your spot for 4 years and I finally just took the plunge and finally committed to myself. And I just try to talk about, I talk a lot about committing to yourself. That's like one of my go-to things. And people are like, yeah, I need, and just have a real conversation with them. Like ask them what their goals are, and ask them why, why aren't you committing yet, and ask them what's stopping them. I found that people are really apt to talk about that and feel a little bit more personal and not just like, no, Shakeology, do it, blah, so like the conversation part of it has gotten me, I don't even talk about that stuff until I have had a full conversation with people. Like, if we go back up here, I always allow for them to get back to me on stuff. So I don't know. I feel like that helps to have a conversation and just relating it back to like, yeah, I freaking know. Like, I don't want to work out. No one, like, I do now. Like, I like to do it now, but I didn't. I was like slothing it around for trillions of years, like watching my husband be like, so like I've been there. So just keep trying to relate it back to when you were that person before you were able to commit to yourself, and talk to them in that way. Don't just push it like salesy. I don't know. Try to avoid that. This is what I've been doing.
So when you're sending out invites, what do those look like? Like, what's your invite track? How does that work for you on a regular basis?
So I have been super using the stories, my Instagram stories and my Facebook stories. to get traction. So I hate it. Like the invite thing, like I still get the hives from it. I'm just like, have to swallow that pill of what's Becky going to say and then just do it. But I often am just saying like, hey girl, thanks for following along on my Hot Mess Express or my stories. Just wondering, are you following along for the fitness journey, lifestyle, or all of the hot mess? And that will then be like, oh, you're doing so great. You're so inspirational. And then that leads me into be able to ask them like, so do you have any fitness goals for this year? Or are you like interested in that? Another one, if they like my post or if they comment on my post, thanks so much for your love on my post. This program has been a serious game changer for me. Do you have any fitness goals this year? And so they'll sometimes answer and I'm like, oh, that's so great. I love having pals on this journey. Would love to share some more details with you. And I always make it like, and it's true. Like I love having pals on this journey. Like that's not a lie. It's so fun to know how good I feel. And I want other people to feel that way. So that's why I feel genuine in my posts. Like I feel like hot AF. Like I have like I'm not there. My body is not where it's supposed to be yet, but I'm feeling so good. And I can't just like, I feel like I'm hiding something, if I don't share it with them. So I just kind of make them feel that way because it's true. And then in your posts, like I always, and I learned this from Tasia, like comment below, like, are you in? Like leave the post with an open-ended something, like give them an action to do, like comment below, like message me if you're in. And like often I'll get people that are like, I'm in, me. So then you're like, oh, I'll message you. Like, so then you message them. And I also, like, this is also a thing, keep a little curiosity in your posts. Like when Transform 20 was a hot thing, like we didn't say, it's this Beachbody program called Transform 20. Like, go Google it, So, like, leave room for conversation starters because it only works to your advantage.
All right. So now that you're diamond, what are you going to do now?
Oh, man. Well, I'm trying to hold my diamond. That's more freaking terrifying than anything. I mean, I'm like sick every day. What was it? Last Thursday, like 3 of my coaches went inactive and I was like, no. And Tasia was like, haha, biatch, like, welcome.
That sounds just like me.
World.
But it is a good question because oftentimes people get to diamond and then they run into those inactive people for like, the next subsequent weeks or months, or they become frozen and they don't know what to do next. So what kinds of goals and plans, you've had a great February, now it's March. How are you feeling this month? How are you working through this month? Stabilization, new goals, that
Listen,
stuff.
I don't know if this is real, but March is a really weird month. And I don't know if it's always a weird month or if like people are just feeling like straight up seasonal depression. But it was like February was like, wah! And then March comes along and it's like crickets. Like, what in the actual frick? So I really did. Like, I was sick about it because I worked hard for that diamond and I was like, no, I'm gonna lose it. Like I didn't remember that that's a thing, that you have to hold it. But I got out of that mindset and I was like, listen, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I have to do to keep that diamond. So I'm gonna keep sharing. I'm gonna get into this ultimate portion fix thing. And that is really cool. Melanie said, like, Beachbody gives us these things to keep doing that. Like, it keeps us excited about it because you're like, oh my God, certified in these cups that have been changing my life. That is badass. And why doesn't everyone else want that? So I am hell bent on keeping this diamond. No, listen, I'm going to keep this diamond, frequency up. But I'm not going to stop sharing, and I'm trying to see, like, I felt like I was like getting in a place this month where I was thinking about my posts so much that I would like write them and then I delete them, and then I'd write them, and then I delete them. So I'm trying to just go with my gut and share what I know and keep freaking sharing. Like, people want to hear it. And I found, like, Tasia, you say this all the time. People followed you for what, a whole year? Tons of people follow you for years. Like, 3 years. See, there you go, Heather. But it really is consistency. Sometimes I'm like, does anyone really want to hear my morning greggle voice and watch me, take a sip of my beautiful go-go juice? Like, but people comment on it. They're like, they're waiting for it. They're waiting for my bathroom confession that I do at 3:00 every day at work. Like, it's fun. So, like, I do find, and I'm really leaning into my stories like I was in February, but use your stories, you guys. That is like free advertising. Because I feel like I post, what do I post? Like maybe once a day on my real social. But I post all day on my stories, and that's where I find where people are saying, oh, I've been following along with your journey and blah, blah, blah. So I'm trying to use my story as my little hot mess express right into the diamond safe zone.
That's good. That's good. So for people who are working to get to diamond, they're at this point where they want to hit diamond by the end of March. They have this goal. Maybe they've had this goal for a couple months, a year. What would you tell them? And I don't know if you want to unshare your screen so we can see your pretty face, but
I would love to.
But I would love for you to just give words of wisdom, because I think that sometimes we get after diamond and then it seems so far away that we stop chasing it. And so what would you say to those people?
So really, I did not have to build my sister-in-law. So that's the thing. I know that you all have people on your team that are killing it. So that's one thing. Like, you have to build your team, and you have to know about your legs and ask the questions. Like, ask your coach the question about how am I doing this? But the big thing is like, don't overthink it. Like, just if y'all are living the Kool-Aid, drinking the Kool-Aid, living the Kool-Aid. Ooh. If you're drinking the Kool-Aid, it's easy to talk about. So like thinking, oh no, I'm not, it's hard because I just literally share about what I'm feeling that day. And I think that that's kind of the key. Like, overthinking it is not going to get you anywhere. If you're going with your gut and you're sharing like the experience that you're having, people want that. People want that genuine feeling. And if they're watching you achieve it, they want to achieve it too. And don't stop sharing. Like, share all the time about it, but not in the salesy way where it's like, buy Shakeology right now, $99, coach. Just like, don't robotic it and just genuinely share. Like, share what you know, share what you're doing.
All right. So here, we'll open it up to questions, because I know we have questions. You can probably read them too, Bailey, but there's a question here that says, do you run any groups? Do you run paid groups, free groups? Where are you at with that?
I do not run any paid groups. I don't even know what that means. See, that's the thing. I don't even know.
You have to buy a challenge pack to get into it.
Oh, well, yes, no, yes, sorry. See, I'm like, that's the thing. I'm still learning, folks. I'm still learning. Poor Tasia. She's like, oh no. Here she is. Here's the real Bailey. My sister-in-law, Lindley, and I am part of a couple groups with Tasia, and Lindley and I started our own group to have a smaller personal feel, and we love it. So we most everyone that is in that group except like our mom, have bought a challenge pack or have bought Beachbody On Demand or something. So yes to that. And it's fun. It's fun to do with Lindley. So if you have other coaches that you're working with, do it with them, because then it's not all on you. And Lindley will post on Sunday, and I'm like, I don't have to post on Sunday, like work with your team and use them as your assets. That's why they're there. That's why you have your tribe. So we're not alone in this. That's what I love about this. Like, I never feel like I'm by myself, where I'm like, oh, I can ask Heather, or I can ask Tasia or Lindley or whoever. Like, I can be like, hey, does this sound like I'm being a desperate freak? Like, kind of. Oh, okay, let me change it. Like, use your team and bounce it off of them. Trying to read these. I'm like totally not like alive.
Yeah, what other questions do you guys have? We'll open it up to questions. You can type them in the chat. Or I don't know if there's no easier way to do that. Can you see these questions, Bailey?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Yes, Melissa. Because people want to see that. Like, that's the thing. We feel like we're oversharing, but people want to see that it's working for you. So you don't want to stop, and I've got a ton of maybe laters. Yeah, so that's the thing. Miss Follow-Up Queen, Tasia Verno, she's like, hey, people, follow up. And I followed up with, like, that's the thing, I'm still learning, but everyone that I follow up with, they either finally give me a no, or they're like, oh, and they ask more questions, So, like, don't count them out just because they've said a maybe later. Let's see. I'm a slow reader, guys. Some personal development books to get over the fear of inviting videos, etc. So anything Rachel Hollis, she's my girl right now. That Jen Cicero, You Are a Badass. That one, I'm telling you. Though, like, the Girl Stop Apologizing one is speaking to me right now in terms of not giving a flying F. Like, I really want to say the F word, but I'm gonna hold it in, guys. I'm not giving a flying frick about what people are thinking. So that is really, like, I was like, ugh, like, I feel yucky. And once I could get past that, and I still feel it sometimes, like, I was terrified to get on this call. I psych myself out all the time, and like, why do we do that? Like, we're all so cool. Like, we're freaking cool people. People want to be our friends. People want to, like, hang out with us. Like, I want to hang out with all of you guys. You guys are all freaking gorgeous little badasses. I see you all. So we shouldn't do that. Like, we need to stop doing that. And the Girl Stop Apologizing is, I ride to work. I have a 45-minute commute. So I ride to work and I'm like, girl. So get that book. Jen Cicero's You're a Badass. I loved that one. Yes, those two are my tops right now. I know that those are like cliche ones, but I don't care. They're cliche for a reason. So we're our family, 6 friends or strangers. I don't know what that one means, Melissa.
I think it means the coaches that you signed up, like getting to Diamond. Who were those people?
The only people that were family were my husband and my sister-in-law. And the rest, I'm telling you, are from signing them up without an option as a coach. It's not scamming them. It's not, being dirty and just trying to get to your goals. Like, you're getting to your goals, but also, like, it is a savings. Like, even that, I explained to them. So that $15.99 or whatever it is, $17 a month fee that freaks everyone out, like, that freaked me out too. I was like, Tasia, ugh, like, what are you doing? When I signed up for a coach, but you still are saving. So, like, if you explain to people it's $17, but you're still saving $15 on Shakeology, and then you're still saving like some ungodly amount, like $20 on shipping. So you're still saving. Like, you're not saving that $17, but you're still saving. So people like that. People like to know that they're, like, they feel like you're helping them out, and you are. So I don't know. I wish that people could just get past that, like, yucky feeling about signing people up as a coach, because it's not yucky. How do you recommend growing followers? I've asked people before, but struggling with hashtags. I don't know. I just, like, I have a list so this is the thing. I hope that all of you guys are doing this, making talk tracks and making note pages in your phones. And, like, if something works, like, get all your hashtags in there, copy and paste. So you're not spending your whole life freaking typing out your hashtags. Like copy and paste that shit. If you're, your vibe attracts your tribe, like all your little mantra hashtags, keep those somewhere and use them. It's not weird to copy and paste to people. Like Sally over here doesn't know that you just said this to Susie over here. That's like, it's all the same message. So utilize that so you're feeling not like you're wasting your time, I'm a hashtagger. So I found hashtag in your comments and not in your posts so that people aren't like, oh, like I can't read another hashtag in your post. It still gets you on that hashtag thread. It's great. Ooh, cool. Plan. That's news to me. The fee is my one holdup. Emily, are you saying that's like your one thing that people always are talking about that make them not sign up? Well, anyways, if that's the case, you just got to explain to them, like, be the smart human that you are and just be like, listen, babe, like, I understand, and that it might not be for everyone. I told you, I've had the one girl be like, oh, hell no. And which is fine. Like, we're not forcing people to do stuff. But if you explain to them how it is actually helping them, I've found that people really feel like, like, oh, she wants to help me. Like, why wouldn't you want to save 25% on Shakeology? Like, $130 is an outrageous price. Like, I want 25% off. So, and then explain to them how that you're still saving with that $17.99, because that's what I don't think that people want, all the savings. They want shit for free. So if you explain to them they're still saving, that helps. So the invite thing, and Melanie, I watched this on one of your videos. Add people that you don't know who the hell they even are. Like, hey, this girl is so beautiful. I love her hair. Add, hey, this dude, he is like so beautiful. Also, I'm going to add him, like, so that's the part I do it, but it makes me feel nauseous because I'm just like, this pretty girl doesn't want me to add her because I'm being a creep. It's like, it's not being a creep. That's just what social media is these days. Like, we all are doing something. Someone's doing this and someone's doing that. So you're not like, it's not like someone's vulturing you out and being like, oh, creep, So yeah, invite. And that's, Tasia will tell me. She's like, she posts in our group, I'm sending out 30 invites, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh, 30, like, ugh. And I don't do 30 at one time. I do like 10, but still, it's the invites that are keeping our traction.
Awesome. I don't know, Mel, if you have any other questions or anything else to wrap up.
I don't. I think it's really good. I just feel like listening to you, Bailey, it's like you made a decision in your mind that you were going to do it. But I also hear that you had to self-talk yourself through this, right? There were a lot of moments where you're like, oh gosh, like this is really uncomfortable. Do I really have to do this? Yes, I'm going to do it. And so for a lot of us, it's like we go one way or the other. We either say, I know this is uncomfortable and I'm going to do it anyways, or we like dance around it. We find that we make ourselves busy. We pretend like we're doing work and we're not really doing the right things. And so, I have to commend you for saying like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to figure it out. Right. And it's like, I love what I'm doing. I believe in what I'm doing. And I'm going to just take it one day at a time, and I'm going to make it. I'll figure it out and I will get there. And you Googled it. Like at the beginning, you said, I had no idea what I was doing, but I Googled it, watched videos. And so that's just the mindset of somebody that's like, I'm in it to win it. I'm in it to the end, and you will. And that's just the way it is. Like you can do all the training in the world. You can spend hours and hours and hours doing all of the new coach training and stuff that we provide. But bottom line, the only way you're going to get confident is by pushing through that fear and doing it even when you are scared to death. And that really kind of rung true in your story tonight. And we're super proud of you. Congratulations on on all your success so far. Like, it's just I hope you understand like what a big deal, it is. Like you've done something that most people have never done before. I mean, Most people that are diamond coaches, it took me 9 months to get there, and you did it in 30 days. So it's pretty cool, you know, and I'm excited to see where the rest of 2019 and beyond takes you in your business, and to just watch you crush all your goals. So you're a great, inspiring leader for people to watch. So we appreciate you giving us your time tonight.
Thanks, guys.
So, all right. So is anything else? Tasia, was that it?
That's it.
Okay. So guys, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to upload this call. I'll get it posted for everybody to share. Bailey, if you could, you know, give us your slides. Like, I know people would love to be able to look at those visuals of what you said. I think it's great. Also, don't copy and paste what Bailey said. Like, you know, we all talk differently, but that's one thing I commented in the little thread was, I love that it's your voice. It doesn't feel like a script. It's exactly. So if you would say to somebody, hey girl, say it. If you would say something like shit, then say shit in there, right? Like, use your personality, you know, and let that come out. Don't be a robot. If you read it back to yourself and you're like, that feels stuffy, it is stuffy. All right. So make sure you are you in your conversations, and practice. Practice is what allows you to figure out what works and doesn't work. So, all right, friends, have a wonderful night. Thanks, Tasia. Thanks, Bailey. Thanks everybody that showed up, and I will see you guys back here next week. All right. Bye, everybody. Take care.